Welcome back to Anime Breakdown. This time, we are going to be breaking down the 11th episode of Attack on Titan, which is mainly focused on Gabi and Falco following their prison break and the internal disruption that is being seen within Paradis. The episode, which is befittingly titled Counterfeit, starts off with Gabi deceiving the guard by pretending she has a seizure before she can smack his face into a pulp with a brick she wrapped around her jacket. The title of the episode also refers to Zeke's betrayal to Marley by forging alliances with the Eldians through the perspective of Gabi and Marco as well as the Marleyan troops. In the post-credit scene, we learn more about their thought process and feelings toward their former war chief, which we'll get back to later on. Gabi and Falco run for an endless amount of time before they stop at the woods to take a breather. Gabi's mirror-like replica of Season 1 Kid Eren comes to the forefront again when she gets into a long-drawn argument about the humanity of the Eldians. She wears the yellow armband as a sign that she is different from the other Eldians, who she's made to believe all her life as evil and wicked. This systematic hatred that has been embedded in her mind through her country has caused her to lose any signs of rational thinking as she refuses to remove the badge, despite the possibility of getting caught. Gabi and Falco are interrupted by a young girl named Kaya who looks very familiar. This is because she's the same girl who Sasha saved 4 years ago, and as we see later on, she started living with Sasha's father and other orphans he took in. Despite Kaya offering the two shelter and food, Gabi still contemplates upping her kill count to an even 2 for the episode, but thank God a cool-headed Falco was there to stop her. In this episode, Izumaya proves his brilliance once again by demonstrating his genius plotting. First, we see a young Sasha saving Kaya while she watched her mother die, only to be taken in by Sasha's family. Then, Sasha dies by the hands of Gabi in the aircraft, only to be taken in by the girl who Sasha saved. The best part about this is that none of the characters know all of the information and only carry a piece of the story, which completely intervenes when they all come together. This episode also lays the woodworks to try and make an Eldian and Marleyan future seem possible. Gabi, who constantly opposes the Eldians, is shocked when she hears Sasha's father talk in a southern Marleyan accent, since she knows people back home who sounds the same. Her ideologies and beliefs are all put into question as she can't fathom the fact that the people who she was meant to hate seem to have a glimmer of innocence and familiarity to her. The next step to her conquering her hatred to the Eldians was actually by sitting down and sharing a meal with them. We can see how hard this is for her to do, as she even slaps the mother's hands by mistake. This whole episode is a huge learning curve for Gabi. This episode also gives us a glimpse of Gabi adopting the farm life. We have finally found the one beast that is strong enough to give Gabi a run for her money: a locked up horse. Gabi tackles the traumas that come with living the farm life, the risk of getting eaten by the animals, shoveling up shit, having the only guy who loves you calling you his brother. So basically the regular Alabama stuff. She can render an entire military base useless with a single grenade, but she can't seem to understand the intricacies of love. Oh, that poor soul. Gabi's character had quickly outranked Season 1 Eren as my most annoying character for the show, but this one episode took her character back and forth to ultimately realize the reality of the situation. Just like it took a while for Eren to realize that his fight was not against the Titan, Gabi's long conversation with Kaya about the truth of Eldia and its people may have just changed her beliefs. In one of the best scenes of the episode, Kaya held her ground against Gabi to make her understand that just like her defenseless mother, Eldians should not be considered as evil due to glorified mythologies and actions that happened hundreds of years ago. Now the rest of the episode focused on the return of Azumabito to Paradis and the only debate of the rumbling. Like we saw in the previous episode, Hizuru was the only nation who reached out to Paradis, and by the looks of it, they have formed some kind of alliance. Azumabito introduced us us to a brand new flying boat, which the country had been building for 3 years. This device will only work with the gas created by the iceberg stone. Azumabito in return wanted to see the rumbling come to life with her own eyes. The debate on whether the rumbling should take place has been of major focus in this season. While Paradis originally wanted to opt for a peace deal, Eren decided to go full Rambo on Marley, and now that's probably out of question, with parts of the episode hinting at a possible evacuation being planned in Shigashina. This alludes us to believe that the rumbling is likely. This is because the rumbling will awaken all the colossal titans within the walls and will therefore cause a huge amount of destruction to the people and their homes. So, their evacuation will be necessary. We also got a beautiful callback to Season 1 with the return of Louise. She was the girl from the struggle for trust, who almost died at the hands of an abnormal titan, but was saved just in time by Mikasa. Now we see her as one of the loyal soldiers from the Survey Corps, worshipping Eren. Before Mikasa leaves, Louise even salutes her with the Eldian salute, just like Mikasa did in Season 1, after saving Louise and her mom. This show keeps on pulling on our heartstrings, with the brilliant writing and once again proving that each and every scene has some meaning in the overarching storyline. Hanji is also the focus of this episode as she tackles the internal disruptions being taken place. After finding out that Flock and 3 other people revealed the imprisonment of Eren to the troops, she declared a trial to be called on them. She is slowly losing her power and confidence as a leader, and is forced to make an example out of them. In one scene, we see her just letting out her anger and rage after the people of Paradis start protesting against the imprisonment of Eren. She reflects back to her encounter in the last season with one of the men who was working for the government and trying to protect their secrets. At that moment, she was the rebel to the current opposition, and now she sees herself in the same position. It's really sad to see one of the most dynamic and charismatic characters of the whole show come to this. Ever since the death of Erwin, she has been burdened with the responsibility of controlling the whole Survey Corps, and it has taken a huge toll on her. Not once this season has she brought up her weird infatuation and obsession with the Titans, and this just makes us worried for her. Maybe sometime soon we can see her and her pet Titan out in the woods, while they play stare into the sunset, play some ball, and eventually try to kill each other. Now that would be the perfect ending. We also see the people rally up against the Corps since they want Eren free. The aftermath of the Marleyan attack has been very hard on the troops, and especially for those most close to Eren. The debate on whether we will finally see the rumbling is still not set in stone. For the rumbling to take place, Zeke and Eren would have to come together, and honestly, Paradis does not trust Eren with that much power. With the mob questioning the decision of locking up Eren versus the possibility of giving Eren all the power in the world to bring forth the rumbling, the show definitely promises us some action-packed episodes to come. Since questions of Eren's loyalty are also being brought forth by his own friend, Armin, who contemplates the possibility of having him fed to a trustworthy ally. The final season is definitely looking to bring the spoils of war from within. And finally, that ending. As much as I compliment Isamaya for his brilliant writing and the outstanding portrayal of each character's internal conflicts and philosophies, oh boy, have I been waiting for more big monster fighting. And by the looks of it, we're about to get a classic Titan masterpiece sometime soon. The post-credits of the show revealed the plan of the Marleyan troops. After figuring out that Zeke has indeed forged alliances with the Eldians and betrayed Marley, there was the talk of a global military alliance against Paradis coming to existence within the next 6 months. But Peak, Reiner, and the other Titan shifters have decided that attacking Paradis right now would leave no room for Zeke to come up with a plan. With Marley developing their own ODM gear and the return of Reiner to Paradis, we are going to be in for an awesome conclusion to this season. Since it is believed that the show will have a second part to Season 4, or at least a movie to conclude the story, the remaining 5 episodes will probably focus on the mini-war of the Titans before the Global Alliance comes to faction. Now that Eren possesses a god knows how many abilities after eating the Warhammer, and the possibility of collaborating with the Beast, the Marleyans look like the underdogs for once. Does Marley have any counter plans to fight off the attack and Beast Titan? Or will the crazy lunatic that is Eren and the $1 million arm of Zeke completely demolish the Marleyans? Comment down your theories and predictions for the upcoming episodes. We also expect a huge focus to be on the rest of the Eldians and what role they decide to take. With the slow build of the internal civil war taking place, the scouts may not be getting the full support of the military and the survey corps like they used to. Guess we're just gonna have to wait and find out what happens next. Stay tuned for more awesome Attack on Titan related content, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. Thank you for watching and see you again next week.